got a very important subject tonight. Whatever happened to the Q word, the quality? And here to help you, I'm very, very pleased to say, is the publisher and broadcaster. A great welcome to Andrew Neil.
So we're going to talk about quality. So let's hear first of all from the Chief Executive of the Chartered Quality Institute, who's just going to go through some of the things that they found out in this survey that they've been doing with YouGov Stone. Please welcome Simon Feary.
Our intention this evening is to ask a very simple question. Do we, as a nation and as an economy, do we pay sufficient attention to quality? Our survey, the details of which you have in in the material distributed tonight, indicates the overwhelming majority of opinion formers agree that quality is critical to our future success. Our survey shows strong agreement that quality drives excellence. It also identifies gaps between intention and commitment, between saying and doing. Only a small majority subscribe to the view that quality is in everyone's business.
Before I worked for a mobile phone company, I worked for a bank, so I'm due for even more abuse. And people used to look back to the old days when you had a banker and a personal assistant who would do all these wonderful things for you and give you fantastic service. And of course they did give great service, but at a huge, huge price. Because behind all of the smiling service and what appeared to be very efficient, there were people fixing things all over the place. And of course we learnt very, rather harsh lessons from the Japanese, who taught us that it is possible to deliver a very high quality of service and a very high quality of product at a very low cost. And you do that by eliminating waste. And I was thinking back to the first time I visited Japan, and I was going around to see my sort of counterpart, and it was a company that actually made telephones, Panasonic, I think it was. And I was, like most people at that time, looking for the one thing they were doing that we weren't. And we talked to the guy, and he said, we have a suggestion scheme. And I thought, ooh, we've got a suggestion scheme. Tell me about your suggestion scheme. And he said, we have 4 suggestions. I thought, crikey, they must be really good, because even we get more than that. He said, no, you misunderstand. He said, we have 4 suggestions per person. And I thought, crikey, if we could just get 4 ideas per person per year, think how good that would be. He said, no, you misunderstand. They got 4 ideas per person per week, of which 50% were actually, 70% were actually implemented. Fantastic performance. Did they pay them for the ideas? No, they didn't. It was just the way they worked. It was a part of the expectation. So everybody had a job which they had to do, and the second job, or part of that job, was to make it better. And I think that's when we start to talk about culture. You know, you have to start to create a different mindset. But it's not just about making people happy. It's about creating the skill set and the environment to make it work.
Marks & Spencer is a business founded on quality, and 125 years ago, that point wasn't lost on Michael Marks when he had his Penny Bazaar stall in the Leeds market. Clear sign above his stall, don't ask the price, it's a penny. Everybody knew what they were getting, everybody knew what the price was. It was in 1926 when Marks & Spencer started to directly source all of its products from its supply base, giving much greater control over the quality of the product, and also having given them much greater control on the cost of product as well. And that has been ingrained in everything that we do. But in this new era of Marks & Spencer, quality and all of the other bits that I've just mentioned, they come with the added strapline of sustainability. Because all of the decisions we make within the business actually are quality decisions that drive a better future. We had to change the language. Sustainability and quality, and often in the past, has been telling people what to stop doing. And if you really want to drive it with some pace and get people behind you, it's about telling people what to start doing. It's a much more positive thing. You're focusing them on one point. You've got much better chance of getting there.
So I was a bit concerned about this survey, where people seem to be confused about who's responsible for quality. Well, of course, we all are. And everybody in an organisation is. You probably have a different responsibility. So if you're chief exec, you have some additional things that you need to take care of over and beyond the people who deliver the day-to-day service. But unless you get the whole organisation to understand that every single person does this every single day in everything that they do, then you've really lost it. And that was one of the things that struck me from this survey, and I do recommend that you read it, was that there was a shocking view about the poor service that you get specifically from central government, local government, from utilities, but with lots of people saying we had really good experiences in hotels and with consumer goods, and we were fine with a number of more physical things. But as soon as it came to somebody truly giving you a great personal service, there was something that was wrong. And I think that's a great shame.
You mentioned quality, and what is it? The definition I was always given is excellence achieved through customer and people satisfaction. Now, we built the business up quite well and made a lot of profit out of it just by doing those simple things. And I can't understand why people put barriers in the way when you've got people ringing up who want to get a service and buy something off you. Now, the benefit of this is shown in the profit. It's not the waste reduction or the cost reduction. It's the profit increase. In TNT Express, when we took over the global business, which was operating in 62 countries with 45,000 people, and it was losing 3 million a week. That's 150 million going out the door every year. And 4.5 years yet later, through excellence, using the excellence model, we managed to get that up to 276 million profit, and improving at the rate of 2 million a week on the bottom line. In this company we've just sold, we are running prisons. I think it's all about people, and we had a saying in our company, take care of your people, allow them to take care of your customers, and the rest of it will take care of itself. Well, we need to equip them with the right tools and the training and the computer systems and everything that they need to do the job.
In earlier days, you may have drunk something that was called a vin délimité d'une qualité supérieure, where we use the word quality actually to indicate this is not an appellation contrôlée. We call it qualité supérieure. So the word quality can be mucked around with, and it's in the eye of the beholder and the customer. It is hard work. I think Alan will probably confirm it's hard work, and it takes a long time. And not only that, but the first faltering steps on the path to quality or excellence can often lead to things getting worse before they get better, at least so it seems to employees, because you're talking about what's sometimes called systems thinking, a systemic approach to your whole business and organisation, starting with what the customer wants and building back.
CEOs need help from customers to know what quality should be all about. For me, the definition is very simple. It's called customer satisfaction, it's measurable, it's called repeat business. And if CEOs need help to understand that, all they have to do is to just tread the high street and talk to consumers, and they'll find out what people think of their product. But that's what CEOs ought to be doing, consuming their own products.
One of the things I've really seen in the last few years is that there is no responsibility. A lot of people don't take personal responsibility. Lots of companies are outsourcing, particularly customer service, and increasingly you no longer find a person who will take your problem from the beginning to the end. And I think that's really sad. And it's just really sad, because it's just actually meaning that businesses increasingly will just lose customers because they'll think I'll go elsewhere.
What worries me greatly in business, having spent 30 years in business myself, is the extent to which procedures, now called management systems, have become the enemy of empowerment. People have, I think, in many companies taken quality to mean you have to unify the way you do things, which means you have to systematise it. That means procedures, and people tick boxes and don't think anymore.
Well,